సూపర్ అది ఫోన్ అక్కడ చూడు ఫోన్ అడుగు
video and the
I can try that. There are few things I need to update you.
okay.
मैं उत्तर भारत में
Please.
रास्ते से
father told you. He said. Yeah, mainly, yes. Dr. Ravi, Dr. Ravi, yes.
So nice to meet you.
He has,
Hearing you and they were not just
Yes.
they are from Pakistan.
Yeah.
अभी
कौन है ये చూద్దాం అసలు కానీ చెప్తాను మన సినిమాకి చెప్తా
I told them that I'm sitting there.
no one.
నీ మాట ప్రకారం నేను వదిలే ప్రోగ్రామ్
రిలేటెడ్ నేమ్ బోర్డు చూసారు. ఇదేదో అవుతుంది చెప్తాను
చిన్న మన స్టాండ్ ఏది అక్కడే కొడు అక్కడ ఏవి తమ్ముడు తీయట్లేదు చూడరా
అది
నాన్న ఈ అమ్మాయి నన్ను
టూర్ తల్లి పిలిచారు
గంటేలో కొట్టారు
లైవ్ వస్తుంది
లైవా ఏ ఛానల్
ఇది గుంటూరు టైమ్స్ అని కొట్టు యూట్యూబ్లో ఫోన్ లేవు మన వాళ్ళ దగ్గర ఫోన్ లేవు సెల్ ఫోన్లు ఉండవా లైవ్ వస్తుంది లైవ్ వస్తుంది చూడు రా తమ్ముడు లైవ్ వస్తుంది చూడు ఇది గుంటూరు టైమ్స్ అనుకుంటా
గుంటూరు
యూట్యూబ్లో గుంటూరు టైమ్స్
సిగ్నల్స్ రావట్లేదు అన్నాడు మా కాలేజీలో సిగ్నల్ రాదు హాట్స్పాట్ ఫోన్ ఎందుకు
హాయ్
నాకు పెట్టు
Oh, really? I'll give that feedback. What part?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's not working. Yeah.
Good afternoon to everyone. With immense pride and joy on behalf of NRI Institute of Technology, Guntur, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to this prestigious keynote session on emerging trends in technology and industry readiness for students. We are deeply honored to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Rajiv Kumar Garu, Managing Director and President of Microsoft India. Sir, it is a privilege to have you and we eagerly look forward to your enlightening keynote address. We are equally privileged to have among us our guest of honor, Professor K. Madhumurthy Garu, Honorable Chairman, Andhra Pradesh State Council of Higher Education. A very special welcome to our esteemed host, Dr. Alapatti Ravindra Garu, Chairman, NRI Institute of Technology, and Sri Alapatti Rajendra Prasad Garu, Secretary and Correspondent, NRI Institute of Technology, whose vision, dedication, and leadership have been the foundation of NRIIT's success and progress. A warm welcome also to our management representatives, principals, respected dignitaries, heads of departments, faculty members, alumni, and our dear students, whose enthusiasm and participation make this event truly vibrant. Let us together embrace this spirit of innovation and inspiration as we begin this remarkable session where ideas meet opportunities and learning meets leadership. Thank you.
To commence today's event with grace and cultural elegance, we are pleased to present a classical welcome dance by P. Tejaswi.
रससारांशं कलयिकैलास्यं पञ्चमवेदम् आनन्दमे अन्दिरना ब्रह्मसृष्टिलो నూతన ఉద్భవం కలిగేలాత్మకు ఘర్షణం జరిగింది సాగే ఈ ప్రతి నిమిషం మసిమన్నున దాగిన కుందనం మరిగాకే జ్వాలతో జ్వలం మదిలోను మధనం నిత్యం తెలిపెను గమ్యం గుండెలోని ఆశే కొలువిన జన ప్రయాణం ఇక సాగరే జీవితం సాగరే అనుక్షణం అవిశ్వాసతం అవిశాశ్వతం అవిశాశ్వతం జ్ఞానం శాశ్వతం శాంతి శాశ్వతం ప్రేమ శాశ్వతం స్వేచ్ఛ శాశ్వతం ఆత్మ శాశ్వతం ముక్తి
Mesmerizing performance, Tejashwi. To begin our session, we invite our beloved Secretary and Correspondent of NRIIT, Sri Alapati Rajendra Prasad Garu, onto the dais. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome a visionary leader, an inspiring technologist, and one of most respected innovators, Mr. Rajiv Kumar, Managing Director and President of Microsoft India. Let us all join together in giving a warm and hearty welcome to Mr. Rajiv Kumar, a true role model for aspiring technologists, to the dais. Please welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. We are also privileged to welcome our guest of honor, Professor K. Madhumurthy Garu, the Chairman of APSCHE, to the dais. Please welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. We are also privileged to invite Sri Vasireddy Vidyasagar Garu, Chairman of VVIT, to grace the dais. Please welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. It is our honor to invite Dr. Alpati Ravindra Garu, the Chairman of NRIIT, to the dais. Please welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Now we request Dr. Dola Sanjay Garu, the Principal of NRIIT, to join the dignitaries on the dais. Please welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next we welcome Sri K. Subbarao Garu, the Chairman of Kids College, to the dais. Please welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. We also invite Sri K. Sarath Garu, the Chief Executive Director of NRIIT, to the dais. Please welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next we request the presence of Sri P. Tilak Babu Garu, the Executive Director of NRIIT, on the dais. Please welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Finally, we are honored to welcome Sri B. Sitaramai Garu, Administrative Officer of NRIIT, to join the dignitaries on the dais. Please welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. I request all the dignitaries on the dais to join in the lighting the lamp.
Now I request our beloved Secretary and Correspondent of NRIIT, Sri Alapati Rajendra Prasad Garu, to address the gathering. Please, sir.
Good evening to everyone. Thank you. It is indeed a proud and exciting day for all of us here at NRI Institute of Technology today. We have gathered for a truly special occasion, an event that synchronizes our passion for innovation with one of the most powerful forces in the world of technology, that is Microsoft. When we think of Microsoft, we think of a name that revolutionized the world of computing, a company that built platforms, empowered developers, and created technologies that content billions of people across the globe. From the early days of Windows and Office to cutting-edge advancements in AI, ChatGPT, and Android development, Microsoft has always been a symbol of progress, transformation, and limitless possibilities. And today, we are deeply honored and truly blessed to have with us a distinguished leader who has played a vital role in beginning these breaking technologies closer to India, who is none other than Mr. Rajiv Kumar. Sir, your leadership, your vision, and your tireless efforts have been instrumental in making Microsoft's innovations more relevant to the needs of our nation. You have shown how technology can empower people, transform business, and strengthen institutions like us, helping them grow, innovate, and succeed in a digital era. Your presence here at NRI Technology today is a privilege for all of us. It is not every day that students have the opportunity to meet someone who has directly contributed to shaping the very tools and technologies that define our modern world. In today's fast-changing landscape, where technology is advancing at an unprecedented pace, India stands tall as one of the strongest adopters of innovation, from digital payments to smart classrooms. Especially our leader Chandrababu Naidu is a far ahead when compared with others, especially in India. Thus, most fortunate for all of us, such a leader is having the innovation about the technology. From AI-driven startups to visionary government initiatives, technology has become the backbone of progress and empowerment. And at the heart of this revolution are the institutions like ours, engineering colleges that nurture young minds, preparing them to become the next generation of innovators, creators, and leaders. We are equally privileged today to welcome our respected Chairman of AP Higher Education, Madhumurthy Garu, whose vision for enhancing the quality of higher education continues to shape the future of the academic institutions of our state. He is a great man and a fair and gentle man. And of course, a heartfelt welcome to our own chairman of NRI Institute of Technology, Dr. Ravindra Alapati, who born and brought up here and went to abroad, and now he did so many things to this country to serve the motherland, to serve the education, That is how we started these education institutions, for which we are all thankful to him with a big applaud. With a noble vision of imparting quality education to the youth of our nation. That is how he established NRI architect. He loves agriculture. That is the reason he has been continually serving to this country in a different mode. Sir, your dedication to serving your motherland is truly not only inspiring to me, to inspiring to the society. As we begin this wonderful session, let us take a moment to appreciate the rare opportunity we have today to listen, to learn, and to connect with some of the brightest minds shaping the world of technology. And apart from that, there are a few gentlemen are on the dais. One is Mr. Sagar, who started like us by name VVIT, with the highest reputation in the state and giving quality education to the students, and also apart from that he is serving to the society. We all have to thankful to his services to the motherland. Apart from that, in every inch of my life, especially in politics, not only in politics, in each and every day of my regular life, he is the backbone of mine, who is none other than Dr. Koya Subbarao, who is running a kids engineering college in my own district. Apart from that, there are Sanjay, who is the principal, and executive director Sarath, and Tilak, and my financial manager Mr. Sitaramaya, who are helping to this institution in each and every minute and second also. Once again, on behalf of NRI Institute of Technology, I extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to Rajiv Kumar and our Honorable Chairman of AP Higher Education, Madhumurthy Garu, and Ravindra Alapati Garu, and the dignitaries on the dais, and our dear students. Let's make the most of this inspiring day and carry forward the spirit of innovations, learning and excellence that NRI Institute of Technology proudly stand for. Thank you to everyone, to everybody.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights. Now I request our Honorable Chairman, Dr. Alapati Ravindra Garu, to address the gathering. Please, sir.
Good morning to all of you. My beloved children, esteemed guests on the floors, and Rajiv Garu, the President of Microsoft, and Madhumurthy Garu. His father is also a professor, so he is a thoroughbred professor. And Sagar Garu, he and I attended the same school, but happy to say that he is junior and more successful than me. And Subbarao Garu, Principal Sanjay Garu, and Sharat, the young CEO, Tilak Garu, and Setharamaya Garu. I am happy to be here in the midst of you. Now, the day is very special, and I can recollect several years ago, maybe 25 years ago, Bill Gates, the chairman of Microsoft, visited Hyderabad, and Hyderabad's ecosystem has completely changed, and now you can see what Hyderabad is. It's probably one of the fastest growing cities in the country. In a similar way, in a metaphorical way, now our beloved Rajiv Kumar Garu is visiting Amaravati, and the change in Amaravati is just starting, and 20 years from now, Amaravati will be one of the biggest cities in the world, not in the nation but in the world. And Sanjeev Kumar Garu, all appearances look that it will be 100% achievable. Thank you. Now, I just don't want to take more time, but a brief thing. The land we are sitting and standing is a bastion of rural agricultural economy. This is being rewritten or rewriting innovation and leadership of our state, that is our CM. And also in the process of stepping to the global stage with ingenuity and purpose. Presently, we are witnessing unprecedented disruption, pushing innovation frontiers through research, entrepreneurship, and vision, while staying rooted in the areas context of providing Maslow's need of safety, security, love, and esteem, the needs which we all stand for. The initial conduit for this great transformation is an organization called Microsoft, a household name rooted deep in the hearts of the people of both Andhra and Telangana. It is my privilege and honor to know the national president and leader Rajiv Kumar Garu. Our bonding is nothing more than compassion. I provide compassion in an individual way. As a doctor, I provide compassion to my patients. But Rajiv, with faceless technology, by delivering food, clothing, and shelter, and dealing with poverty in all its dimensions, eradicating the poverty and providing a better life for the next generation. To go into a little bit of personal, outside of work, I was told that he finds happiness in yoga, meditation, and cycling, and cherishes time with his wife, Rekha, also an IIT Roorkee alumni, and their two daughters, Yashita, a software engineer working for Microsoft, and Sneha, a doctor. Am I right? Oh, okay. Those who know him describe him as grounded and inspiring, someone who leads not just with intellect, but with empathy. Understand the word empathy. Am I right? Okay. As he often says, leadership is not about being in charge, it is about caring for those who are responsible for and inspiring them to achieve their full potential. I am not a technologist. My brother, who is a politician, has described technology in detail, and I don't want to deal with technology. With this, I warmly welcome my good friend Rajiv to address the gathering, as you are all waiting for them.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge and valuable insight. Now, I request Chairman of Andhra Pradesh State Council of Higher Education, Professor Madhumurthy Garu, to address the gathering. Please, sir.
Very good afternoon to you all. Greetings from AP State Council of Higher Education. Dignitaries on the dais, Sri Rajiv Kumar garu, Managing Director and President of Microsoft India Development Center, Hyderabad, Sri Alapati Ravindra garu, Sri Alapati Rajendra Prasad garu, Vidyasagar garu, Subbarao garu, other dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, faculty members, dear student friends. It's a great day today to have such stalwarts all gathered here. Educationists who have been promoting the act of philanthropy. In addition to affording us an opportunity to make our careers, particularly in such changing times. As we all understand, things have been changing at a rapid pace, and technology has been transforming every aspect of life. The way we teach, the way we learn, the way we live, work and network, all things have been changing. We also should realize that there is a great need in the way we come about addressing the challenges, taking up the opportunities, and making best out of all this. In this particular context of changing times, changing trends, changing technologies, I think we as learners, lifelong learners, be it students, faculty, or the administrators, we all have the responsibility to understand what's happening and what is likely to happen, to bring those changes that would make us future ready. Today is a great day in the context of, this is my first visit to this institute, great institute, and I have great regard for my former chairman of the institute that I served, Alapati Rajendra Prasad garu. He was the chairman of the National Institute of Technology, Regional Engineering College at that point of time when I was serving at that institute. He has been driving technical education at that particular point of time for the combined state of Andhra Pradesh. And he is driving education, and particularly with respect to the context of NRIIT, he has been making good use of his experience and opportunities to provide such sort of a forum for people to learn, to grow, to gain, and to prosper. Sir, my respects to you. And for all the philanthropists like Alapati Ravindra garu and many more in front of me who have been doing yeoman service to the education forum. We have Rajiv Kumar here today, a true professional from the industry. He brings deep insights and great exposure and experiences of industry. we should all realize, not to belittle academics, but there are things that are also equally important for us to be successful in life. As things change, things have been changing much faster. What it was 5 years back is not what it is today. The change has been unprecedented. And the type of changes in behavior of individuals and the attitudes that we carry had also been tremendous. Some for the positive sake, and probably many for us to learn even more. In that particular context, we have to understand the changing dynamics of the economy, of the technologies that we come about. For the benefit of Sri Rajiv, I would also like to mention, sir, we as the state of Andhra Pradesh have envisioned a roadmap for the development of the state of Andhra Pradesh. They call it Swarnandhra. It's not a slogan, it's a commitment. It's a commitment for progress. As we all know, in the development of this particular state, which has been bifurcated, which has got resource crunch, the state government has been focusing on development through knowledge and innovation. Basically, it has been investing on science and technology, R&D, skilling, and digital infrastructure. These are the basic objectives with which the state has been going through. And it tries to transform the aspirations of the people by accomplishments through education, entrepreneurship, and inclusive development with technological excellence. These are the objectives that the state has framed for itself. As I have already made a mention, we are undergoing a resource crunch, but we have a progressive government, and not only a progressive but a visionary, with a visionary drive. In that particular sense, this is the place, a happening place. The Chief Minister, the visionary Chief Minister, has come up with the Quantum Valley Declaration, and we are expected to have the Quantum Valley initiated by 2026 Jan. And I know Microsoft is a partner coming up with its own contribution to the Microsoft, the Quantum Valley. As part of the education system, all the technical educational institutions have now taken up the responsibility of preparing those professionals into quantum technologies. Quantum has been heard of, but not many have known what quantum technology happens to be. Until recently, when our Honorable Chief Minister has come up with the declaration, now it's a street talk here in Andhra Pradesh. We have been able to come up training our faculty, almost 700 of them, on quantum technologies. We have also been able to come up in our curriculum revision to introduce quantum as minor subjects, trying to prepare or train ourselves on various activities. In fact, the hackathon that we have conducted on quantum technologies has imbibed a lot of enthusiasm on all campuses. There are about 3,000 teams that have participated with more than 20,000 people exposed to quantum technologies. Students have never been taught what quantum is. It was self-learning that brought them to address 10 problem statements that have been prepared. The service that is being rendered by these technical institutions could be understood by the type of preparation that they are offering to the students, the encouragement that they provide. Sir, I bring to your notice that we look forward to several such initiatives where now Wiser is helping us to train some more. From 5th of November, there's a free program commencing on quantum technologies. I bring to the notice of all here, faculty as well as students, please enroll yourself for this program being offered by Wiser. Wiser stands for Washington Institute of STEM, and so please go ahead registering for this program. There is also a program being planned from NPTEL and Swayam in the month of January. By the time of March 2026, we need 100 use cases minimum. We are going to launch a portal on quantum technologies, which would host the algorithms on quantum technologies. As we know, there is already a portal known, a global portal known as QAZ, Quantum Algorithms Zoo. A similar sort of a portal is being planned, which would be launched very soon. Sir, in this particular context, your presence here today addressing a very relevant topic of the technological trends and to prepare the future ready students would be so very relevant to give insight to what is more necessary and what education is to be imbibed in these youngsters. So this has a very relevant aspect of not only initiating several collaborative mechanisms, but also to have a major role of thrust on areas that we need to focus and prepare so that Andhra Pradesh would be a leading factor in all courses of development as we had been known for software development. In quantum technologies, we are going to be the global hub, the capital of quantum global hub. This is the promise that we have made, and we are going to come up with some such sort of mechanisms. We also request your support in this context to various institutions offering these programs. And I take this opportunity to thank the organizers for giving me to be this to be with you all today at this function and to raise certain concerns that we have about the growth, about the focus that we need, and also the attention not only the students but the institutions and the faculty need to pay attention for. There are going to be several changes that are likely to come. As you know, we have our ministers going around, somebody in Australia, somebody in UAE, looking to fetch us opportunities, to create such challenges for us. Let us be prepared. Jai Swarnandhra, Vikasit Bharat Jai. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking speech. Coming to Microsoft, what can we imagine this world without Microsoft? Not even the speech. Indeed, this speech is drafted by data obtained from Microsoft Bing Search in a Microsoft Edge browser with the help of Copilot and drafted in Microsoft Word and printed using Microsoft Print. Perhaps imagining a world without Microsoft is like trying to imagine a world without the widespread influence of technology. Building on foundation laid by Bill Gates and scaled by Satya Nadella, Rajiv Kumar is accelerating Microsoft impact in India. As Microsoft legacy continues from Bhaskar Pramanix's roots to Rajiv Kumar wings, from Microsoft evolved with ease from code to cloud, from Office to 365, from Microsoft Windows to today's Azure Sky, and from software license to cloud subscriptions. We cordially invite Mr. Rajiv Kumar Garu to share his insights and expertise on latest innovations.
Video first. This is a video first. This is a video. Yeah, this is good. We'll start the video. Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Okay. So I have to start by saying Andriki Namaskaram.
Please stand up and give a
Ela unnaru.
ovation.
Almost five.
So nice.
Give a big clap.
If you look at the world, in 3 years, there will be almost 5.
You want us to clear the stage? No, no. Oh, but I will walk. Yeah, go back. Switch it. Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah. It will be 1 hour, so yeah, 1 hour. Yeah, yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Yeah. See also exactly because this is slide lot of things. Yeah. Good idea. Good idea.
If you look at the world, in 3 years, there will be almost 5 billion people who will only have mobile device as a complete device. They will never have a desktop. So people who only use mobile devices, what will productivity mean?
Productivity has become mobile only. It is something where people are on the go, they are very comfortable in using the device that they have in their pocket to run their entire business on.
What we have done is taken all this learning across the world and if you look at the world, in 3 years, there will be almost 5 billion people who will only have mobile device as a complete device. They will never have a desktop. So people who only use mobile devices, what will productivity mean?
Productivity has become mobile only. It is something where people are on the go, they are very comfortable in using the device that they have in their pocket to run their entire business on.
What we have done is taken all this learning across the world and synthesized that into building 2 key applications, Sprightly and Kazala. Kazala is designed to get your work done in an unstructured chat-like interface, and that is the aha point. We help our customers get the work done through this entity called cards. The cards are nothing but mini applications. And the best part is, you don't have to download it, you don't have to install it, you don't need to uninstall it, it just comes when you need it and it goes away.
Whether it is bill submissions, tracking attendance, tracking availability, tracking where somebody actually is, these things became unique features in Kazala, and we started to hear from customers, including the AP government, who said we want to use this kind of functionality of tracking the location of people, assigning jobs to people. So in this, we discovered the idea of fairly large groups. We started asking ourselves, what does it mean for a messaging app to have no size limit in a group? And so the unique answer we came up with here was group of groups.
When you build such a large group, one of the risks is that it becomes very chatty. But in Kazala, you can really build mega groups.
Not only can you have one-on-one conversations or group conversations, But in those groups, you can also have other groups, which allows you to, model your organization. Not only can I assign a job to somebody in my group, but I can assign a job to multiple people across the hierarchy, which no other messaging app does today.
We met Chandrababu Naidu sir on July 29th, and within 7 or 8 days they decided they want to use Kaizala to run the operations for Pushkaram. So they get feedback from citizens in real time and then fine tune their governance in real time to meet the needs of their citizens. And that's very humbling that we can actually bring that kind of impact in the life of our citizens. Imagine being able to reach millions of your customers or your organization now in the whole state or in the whole country within seconds. And that is the power that is phenomenal. And as we open up Kaizala as a platform, third party can build their custom applications to do payment or to do some work or get some work done in a government office. You can reach millions of your customers in minutes and hear their feedback in real time, and that's the power of Kaizala. So I would encourage you to go download the apps today from the store. Thank you. Can you hear me? Thank you. Can we get to the slide, please? So I'm going to talk today about a couple of things. 3 things actually. One, just talk about the technology, how technology impacts the whole world. And I am a product of that. I really believe technology helps from individual to companies to nations to the whole planet. And I am a living example of that, so I'm going to talk about that for next 50 minutes and share what does it take for you to benefit from technology. Who do you need to be? And what did I learn? Through what I have learned, I would like to share that with you so that you can use some of those learnings and capitalize on the technology. I'll start by, so this is my little life. My whole life is in one slide. Born in a small village in Jharkhand called Sahibganj. That Sahibganj, when I was driving from Vijayawada to here, I could almost feel I was back home because I've crossed so many small villages. Very rural setting. The place I was born did not have water, did not have electricity. I grew up in a small village in a farm. It just happened that I was in a school, there was a good school. See how education changes life? I happened to be born in a small village that had a school called St. Xavier's. I went there, class 10, my father gut said maybe you should go to Calcutta St. Xavier's. I ended up in Calcutta St. Xavier's. There I found out everybody is preparing for IIT. I have no idea what IIT is. I just studied hard. I did not get into IIT that I wanted, which is IIT Delhi, where my brother was. I went to Roorkee. From there I found, okay, people go to US. So I applied to US. It was just in 22 years, I went from being in a village to be in Austin, Texas. All because it was just focused on whatever was there, just do the best. So that's my little life. Since then, the only company I've ever worked is Microsoft. Microsoft was a startup in 1991 when I interviewed. Many of you in the back were not born. I realized that shows how old I am. But I joined Microsoft in 92. I was fortunate to work with the 3 big, probably the best CEOs in the world, Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer, and Satya, for almost a decade each. So I've learned a lot, so I'm going to talk about that today. I also want to talk about why I came back to, go back one slide, because I do want to talk about balancing life. Because the bottom of the slide actually talks about what I really believe in. I believe in a balanced life. I came back to India to meditate actually, not to work. But I found time because me and my wife thought in India we'll get time, so we do meditate. We continue to learn. I'm learning tabla. I can play it on bhajans. That was my goal. I have 2 daughters and 1 wife. Good problem to have. That's the right numbers. So I have that. I love traveling. Traveled to almost 78 countries in the world. And 7th continent I'm going in December, in the South Pole. This December, so I'll go all 7. And then for health, I do yoga and cycling. I just thought I put that in perspective so that the rest of the talk will tie to who I am. So, if you look at the world, last 1,000 years, and you look at the growth of how the world changed, transformed, for the first 500 years, not much transformation, because it was very locked world. There was no technology. The first big technology that unlocked power of human being was printing press. AI is very similar to printing press, by the way, and I'll tell you how. When printing press happened, you could take knowledge and print it and send it to other places. Otherwise, before printing press, you have to be born in the city where that person knows the knowledge and transfer that, or you have to travel. So that was the first unlock. So you see the GDP went from 0.4 to 1x, and then as the last 50 years, probably my life, probably have seen the maximum amount of innovation. Right from, well, electricity and steam engine, that happened before I was born, but a lot of it is in the last 50 years, I'll talk about that. But the more technology happened, the more GDP grew. In fact, if you look at the next slide, India benefited because of the third revolution. The first revolution was about industrialization, where people went from building things at home at small scale to large scale. They used steam engine, they used machines powered by like physical power. But then the second industrial revolution happened when the electricity was born, where we could actually take a machine and automate it. It could run 24/7. And the third one happened with the silicon, with the computer science coming in, which was in 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000, last 50 years. And that, if you look at the next slide, go to the next slide. If you look at India, this is India's GDP. When I came back to India in 2003, after working there for 15 years, the GDP was about 700 billion. That's it. Now there are people who have that much money, by the way, one person, close to that. And in the last 20 years, our GDP has gone from 700 billion to almost 4 trillion. So thanks to our Chandrababu Naidu Garu and our leaders, country leaders who have really transformed the country. But this is only one technology that has changed India's perception in the world, and that's IT. So I just wanted to make sure that you understand the power of one technology changing one nation. That's what has changed me. And I was just like you or anybody else, born in a small village. And what changed was my knowledge of computer science. I'll talk some more later, but let me just keep going. The last one I'm going to talk about is AI. AI is actually an extension of software, because it's just a different kind of software. This is not a software that runs on CPU, it runs on GPU. It's a software that knows, it basically has learned from us through data. So I'm going to talk about in detail, a little bit color of what AI is in very simple terms, so that you understand what is going to change. After AI, it will be quantum, when we are working on that. But the next generation, the next 30 years is really about AI, 25 to 30 years. And quantum will come, it will slowly grow up, but AI is here and now. So what makes AI more interesting? Let me talk about that. Let's go to the next slide. So I'm going to talk about generative AI in a moment, and I'll also talk about what does it take for you to capitalize on that. How can you take advantage of the new technology? That's the rest of the speech. So this AI is actually a profound technology. I have been in this for almost 30 years. When I joined Microsoft in 1992, the PC wasn't very popular, by the way. It was, if you're aware, Windows 3.0 had just shipped in 91. It was not very successful. It was really in 92 when we shipped with 3.1 that it took off. So it was a PC era in 1990s. Then came the dot-com boom, the internet in 2000. From internet came mobile, 2007. From that came the cloud in 2015. So these are the technology that really has helped. With AI, go back. Okay, so AI has three Go back. Go back. Back. Okay, front. There's one slide missing. One more. Yeah. So AI has, why is AI being called this transformative thing? There are three things. It's as simple as three things. Number one thing is AI, first time ever in the history of mankind, AI understands us. Till AI, this generative AI was born, we had to understand AI. We had to understand technology. We had to understand what command to put. My mom, my sister could never do it. First time ever, the software understands human being. You can talk in your language and it can respond in any language you want. That's the number one difference. The second is it has reasoning engine. Reasoning engine meaning, let me just go to each slide, and then the memory is it will learn who you are. So the first one is, go to the universal interface. Go back one line. Yeah, this one. This, as I was saying, basically, you can talk to any language and it will understand you. You can say, I will talk in Hindi, you respond in English. It will do that. Anything, and it can actually have a conversation. It has learned from the data, all the internet data, every data on the planet that we had, we have fed it. It takes almost 6 months to teach. It's like kids. It learns from us. Kids learn from us, right? We tell them, don't do this, do this. This is how you speak, this is how not. That's what we have done to the computer now. So that's why computer can understand, when you say something, it understands what you are saying and respond. Sometimes it makes mistake, by the way. Kids also make mistake. This is only 2-year-old, by the way. Imagine what will happen in 20 years. So it will really get better. So that's number one. Number two is a reasoning engine. It can reason. If you tell something to do, it will figure out, like, I don't have the example here. If I say calculate from here, distance from Earth to Moon, it will figure out 2 or 3 ways to calculate and tell you these are the different ways, but it's memory. It's starting to understand. My name is Rajiv. I live in Hyderabad. Sometimes I visit in Seattle. So when I say tell me the best, whatever your favorite food is, MLA dosa or whatever it is, knowing where I am, it will tell me. It knows that I like this kind of food. It knows I am in Seattle right now, and it will tell me Seattle address, not Hyderabad address. But when I'm traveling to Vijayawada or to Guntur, it will tell me, it knows I'm in Guntur, he will tell, the system will tell the Guntur addresses to go to. Sankaralai, right? That's, okay. So, anyway, so my point, these are the 3 key difference of this new technology that you have to understand. Now, it is absolutely having impact on everything. Education. There are teachers who are taking an education institute like this. You can actually, of course, as a student, education will change dramatically, because now this AI can teach you the way you know how to learn. It will understand how much you know, what mistakes you have made in the past, and it will help you. Healthcare. Being able to, I know my friend Dr. Ravi will tell me that you can't replace doctors, and I agree, we can't replace doctors, but it will assist doctor. It will look at all the data and tell this may be wrong. So it is assisting and making the diagnosis more precise. You take any, like we are working with Andhra Pradesh government, with UP government to advise farmers how the soil quality is. Are you able to, I'm speaking too fast? Is good? Okay. We are working so that we can tell farmers what to sow, depending on what we know about the rain will happen or not happen, the quality of or the moistness of the soil. We advise the farmers to be able to get better crop, you know. So there is lot of, every aspect of human being will get impacted with AI, let me tell you that. Every aspect. Okay, so that's very profound. I just wanted to summarize what I said before. Basically, in my own short life of 30 years, many inflection point has come. PC, followed by internet, followed by mobile, then cloud, and now AI, and then it will be quantum. But quantum is next. I think AI is here and now. Okay. The question is, you will ask, the question is, what do you do? Because anything you learn will be obsolete in 10 years. So the question is not what you know, but what you are. Who do you need to be to succeed in the next 20, 30, 40 years? That's your question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share what I have learned in Microsoft in 33 years from one of the best leaders on the planet. Okay? Is that good? Okay. I'll do that. Thank you. So I'll start by saying that really is a journey of continuous learning. My first day at Microsoft, 1992, June 29, I joined Microsoft. I got the offer in January of 1992, and they made me an offer saying, Rajiv, you are selected and you are going to work on compiler. Those who are in computer science, you understand compiler, right? And I called them back and said, I don't know anything about compiler. In fact, I think I'm scared of compiler because the compiler class, I did not do well. And that lady, that recruiter said something that changed my life. She said, Rajiv, we don't hire people for what you know, but what we think that you can know. See, that's profound. It's not what you know, it's about what you can know. And you know, I worked on the compiler for 9 years. 12 of my 25 patents in compiler. So my point is, if you put your effort, you will learn it. Anyway, I meet Dennis Kennedy that day. Save his soul. He is no longer there. He passed away in COVID. One of the best leaders I have worked for personally. So on June 29th, he takes me around. The Microsoft was a small company, but it's a startup, like 4,000 people. I'm just, people were saying, why are you joining Microsoft? It's such a small company. It's no good. Go to some other company. But still, I joined Microsoft because they grilled me. They interviewed me 8 times. They asked me the hardest question. And I thought, these people really know something. I need to work with them. So I joined them. But I had 2 jobs. I know this is not in the book, but I'll tell you the story. I had 2 jobs. Microsoft, Schlumberger. Oil company, $60,000 a year. Microsoft, $29,000 a year. I chose Microsoft. You know why? Because they really grilled me. I wanted to learn, not so money. Don't run after money. That's probably one of the best decisions in my life. I think I have to correct myself. Second best. The first was to marry my wife in my class. This was my second best decision in my life. Anyway, because I remember in 22 years I went from village to Redmond, and I met these people who were world-class software engineers. I met Tim Patterson. Tim Patterson is the person who sold DOS operating system to Bill Gates for $50,000, and that became Windows, DOS, and PC came from that. I meet him and I'm saying, look, I don't know compiler. They put me in this compiler team. All these people are PhDs in compiler. What do I have a chance to succeed in this place? They fire me, you know. He read that fear in my face, and at the end of the class, of the day, he came back. Dennis Kennedy said, Rajiv, you know, all of these people are very smart. I think you are also smart, but I'll tell you how to succeed. And I was saying, please tell me, because I think that you will fire me after 1 year, because in front of these people, I have nobody. He said something that changed my life. He said, the way to differentiate, everybody is smart, Rajiv, but the way to differentiate is to work hard. That sentence changed my life. I did not look back. I worked 16 hours a day for many years until I got my first promotion. Then I realized after 1.5 years, I said, okay, I can fake it. They haven't figured out that I don't know. But anyway, so that's, work hard is important. Okay, so that's my first learning at Microsoft. Let's go. The second, I'm now going to get to the meat of my presentation. What did I learn from 3 CEOs? Each one are world, this will probably go back, each one of these are like world-class people. Bill Gates, who created Microsoft in 1975. Satya, he really saved Microsoft. Amazing. He birthed Gen AI. He put $4 billion in OpenAI to create ChatGPT and Copilot. He gets a lot of credit. And Steve Ballmer, like his energy is like so much. If he was in this room, this room will be full of his energy. He's just so dynamic. So anyway, I have learned from these three people. I'm going to talk about three people. The first one I'm going to talk about is my inspiration, Bill. This is a picture from last year. He came to Hyderabad for 25th anniversary. So I was the pleasure to host him in Microsoft Hyderabad for one day. Next. Okay. The three things I learned from him is first is making decisions. How to make decisions. I do not know. I'll talk about that. Then I'll talk about two. So I'll tell you a story. I became a manager in 1999, and I had two people. I was a compiler. I told you I was in part of the compiler team, this technology team, and I had a young woman writing some piece of code, and I had hired a very senior person from the industry, John Hamby. And so she is, this lady was Sue Chang. She said, Rajiv, I'm going on vacation. I'll come back and finish this piece of work. No issues. I'm going for 2 weeks. I said, okay, great. I told John, the other person, that she was working on this part. He said, I know this area, I'll do it. So I told, on Friday, I tell Sue, look, you go, have fun. You deserve to take a break, 2 weeks, have fun. But John is going to finish this project, and you can come back. She said, no, don't do that. I'll come back and finish. And I just took it casually, and she went, and John finished the project. He checked it in, and everything was fine. She comes on Monday, and Monday evening, she comes to my room very mad, saying, why did you let him do this piece of work? It's my work. I should do it. And I said, who cares? Let him do it. No, Rajiv. It was pride for her. She said, look, I already told you, I'm going to do it, and I want to do it. He should not do this. I'm going to check. I'm going to remove everything is done, and I'm going to redo it. I go to John Hamby. I say, John, she's really upset. Please let her redo. And he said, I'm the most senior technologist in the world. You don't trust me? I said, John, but she is very upset. He said, okay, so you don't trust me then. I go back to Sue, saying, look, he's saying that he's a senior leader. You can't remove his stuff. She says, nothing doing. I'm going to redo it. I don't know what to say to whom. I was really in a bind. Do you see that? Both are right. What do I say? God's grace. Bill Gates writes a mail to everybody in Microsoft saying how to make good decisions. And I read there, he says many things. He says, look at all the data, do all the analysis, no analysis, paralysis. But in the third or fourth point, he says, your goal will decide what you do. So, in this case, the question is, what is the goal? Make everybody happy? Then Sue should redo it. If the goal is to not waste time and ship early, then hey, Sue, too bad, it's already done, I'm going to redo it. I just did not know at that point that I could go tell John, and this is my goal, and because of this I'm making this decision. See? So one of my very early in my career, in the beginning of my management career, I learned to make good decisions. And good decisions requires, I later figured out why the hell I can't make decisions. You know what? I'm from a village, many of you probably have the same issue. When in small villages, when there is Diwali, or the mother and father will say, okay, eat this because you like it, wear this clothes. When you grow up to 25, marry this person. Where do you make decisions? We don't get to make decisions. So learn to make decisions, make good decisions. And I have put some points. Look at the goal, look at the data, avoid analysis paralysis, but you have to develop that competency of making good decisions. Because decision changes everything. Okay? One decision can change your life. So anyway, so that was my first learning. The second learning from Bill was thinking long term. He always thinks long term. He always thinks like I remember the day he was retiring, they had invited some people for his going a fairway dinner, and I was there. He was there, and I asked, oh, so you are quitting Microsoft, you are going to do this philanthropy, you have a lot of money, so you'll spend the money. And he said he did not talk about money at all. What he talked was very phenomenal thing. He said, Rajiv, I've looked at all the data in the world, and there is 3 or 4 diseases that kills the early on, and those diseases are TB, HIV, malaria, all the disease that is outside of developed countries. Because if it was developed countries, they would have invented, they would have figured out a cure. But all these issues are Africa and Asia problem. So I'm going to work on those issues. I'm going to go invent technology that can invent the medicine to solve this. See, what he was thinking is not short term, I have money and I'm going to distribute money. Nothing like that. It was about long term. In long term, how do I have impact on the planet? That is something that you have to develop. And I think that I see that long term thinking here, by the way. You really are thinking long term of how to create universities that will change the state and the place. This is reflective of what Alapati Ravi Garu and Rajendra Garu is doing. So a lot of. Then the last one is taking risk. You have to take some risk. I remember, and I'll make it short in the interest of time, when we were Windows was successful in 1995, 96, we were going from 16-bit to 32-bit. The whole world did not know whether this transition will really happen from 16-bit computer to 32-bit computer. But Bill Gates took the risk of betting the whole company on that we are only going to develop 32 bits. And guess what? Within 3 years, Microsoft software became #1 in everything. Office was second. Lotus 123 was #1. WordPerfect was #1. And we just took over because he took the risk that the world is going to change and we have to capitalize on that change. So those are the 3 learnings from Bill Gates. The next one is my favorite. He is Steve Ballmer. Not many people know him, but he was our sales leader. High energy. If you meet him, he's big. He has this personality, he has this persona, presence, and great at networking because, of course, being a salesperson, he knows how to make. So the 3 things I learned is having a presence. Let me tell you the story of my presence. See, I come from a very small place, right, village. Let me go to the, yeah. In 1999, I became manager. In 2001, I became general manager. They promoted me quickly. And I remember going to these meetings. And I would say something. And remember, I was Indian. I was in US that time, by the way. They're all white people. And there are some Indians. Right now, it's like a lot of Indians. That time, it was a lot less. And that time, my manager was Kavi Singh. So I was starting getting this issue that when I talk, people don't listen. So I go to Kavi's office, Kavi Singh, because he was Indian, I could talk more freely. I said, Kavi, what's wrong? This morning, I was in this meeting. I said something, nobody listened. Andrew said exactly the same thing, and everybody said, that's a great idea. What's wrong? And he said, yeah, I noticed that. I said, tell me why? And he said, you have no presence. I said, what do you mean I have no presence? He said, when you come in the room, nobody notices. When you sit there, nobody really cares. And when you say nobody really is listening, I said, how do I fix it? And he said, I don't know. I said, okay, that's very helpful. You tell me I have a problem and you don't tell me the solution. So anyway, so he was amazing leader. He helped me get at least 3 or 4 life coach. Somebody was going to teach me how to speak. Somebody literally taught me how to dress up, how to sit, how to look eyes to eyes. You know, all those things matter. How you groom yourself, how you dress yourself, how you speak, the language you speak, the words you use, all those things matter. And those are learned abilities. Nobody is born with that. You all have to put effort to create your presence. Do you get it? right? It's not that you just, thank you. So, second one is really about generating energy. Like when Steve Ballmer is in the room, his voice, his questions, his prodding just generates energy, where you as a leader have to create the right team, world-class team. You have to, the one thing that really takes away the energy is your arrogance. You have to be humble, respectful yet confident. Humble, respectful yet confident. See, in India, people teach you like they say, don't talk to elders too much, don't look in the eyes. No, you should listen respectfully, but also say your point of view. If you don't put your point of view forward, then they will think you are passive aggressive or you don't have a point of view. Even if you are thinking some good ideas, you have to speak up, is the biggest learning I have had. You have to speak up in a humble way, not arrogant way, it's my way only, but you have to speak in a way that is more humble. Networking is something I have learned from Steve. See, networking is being able to, knowing people around you, right? And I know most of you are students, you have networking built in because you are all friends, you are in the same class all the time, but once you get to college, get out of college, you are working, you have to put effort to know people who can help you and learn from them, right? So I'm not going to talk too much because this may not be very relevant. My most favorite CEO is Satya. He is the one that, he is from here, by the way. He is from AP. His dad was an IS officer that served these areas. I'm sure he was stationed in Guntur and Vijayawada, Anandpur, I know for sure. So he's just, I have worked for Satya for 5 years. I came to India because he said, maybe you should go and check out India and see if there is something we can do there. And 20 years back, and I think now rest is history, India is the second largest Microsoft presence outside of Seattle. So that is, and most of it is in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. So that is just, what I learned from communication. See, what I learned from Satya is, his ability to communicate is precise. When he speaks, he is so clear that you'll say, okay, that makes sense to me. He will take a very complicated idea and say things in a way that you say, okay, I get it now. So in communication, there are a few things you have to remember. One is, communication is not about just you speaking. It's also listening. Listening with generosity. Listening to understand. And then responding with whatever idea you have after that. So that's the number one. The second thing he taught me was this. I was having dinner with him one night after his keynote in San Diego. We went for dinner, and I was asking, how do you communicate so crisply, so clearly, with so much clarity? And he said that really had a lot of deep impact. He said, look, those who have learned software, you know, you create this flow chart, you start, then you have this step, then there's a branch, if, then, yes, no, then you have this. He said communication is like that. You have to start, you have to know your story, you have to know your flow, and just stick to that flow. So in the meetings, when he gets distracted, people will rat hole and talk about something else. He will come back and say, okay, this is the point I made, this is the next point. Because in his mind, it's really a structured way, things that he needs to say. So that's something that I have learned from Satya. The second learning for me is, I used to work for Satya, you know, and we would fly, I have traveled with him a lot, because we are buying great planes in North Dakota, then we are buying a company in Sweden, Exapta, and in all these flights, you know, I would be watching TV and he would be reading a book. I would get out of the plane and he would tell me what he read from the book, and I'm saying like, that's so silly. He is my manager he's reading and I'm wasting my time. What he taught me was continue to learn. He read stuff, he synthesized stuff, he shared that with me. And then I remember telling Satya, I really need to start reading books again. I had got into meditation, and then I thought, okay, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to read, I don't want to do anything, I just want to meditate, but that's not right, you have to do both. So anyway, listen, the other thing is, you cannot, see there are two ways to learn. Either you can make mistakes and learn, or you can listen to others and learn. And reading book is just listening to others because somebody else's idea. But the point is that not only when you are in college, but more importantly, when you get out of the college, you have to remember you need to continue to learn. Doctors are the best. They can learn like for the rest of the year, right? The rest of their life, because things are changing. But engineers, we get lazy. And I think one of the reasons why Satya is where he is because he has, every year he learns new things. He takes classes. Even now, he will read stuff, he will listen to podcasts, right? And that's something that I've learned from him. Creating clarity. See, this is an ability which is not easy, but something that differentiates a good leader. Things will be complex, and your goal is to take complex things and make it simpler. Not make it complicated. Make it simple by removing variables, by making assumptions, and then being able to communicate with your friends or your peers in company. So that's the final thing that I've learned from Satya is to ability to create clarity given a situation. I'm going to now, I hope I have time. I have time, yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about, see, this was all professional life. I'm going to share 3 learnings of my own learning. What I have learned independent of anybody else. The first, I think, is not only work hard, I said, but also balance your life. You know, you have to find time for everything that you care about. When I was coming to India, the 3 things I'm going to talk about is work-life balance, grit, and fearlessness. Those are my 3 learnings. Work-life balance is interesting because if you go, next slide. See, when I go to IIT, like any IIT or any college, you know what people ask before joining Microsoft? They ask, how much money will you give? Based on the money I'm going to, like you'll get day 0, day 1, day 2, day 3 in college. Then they say, what is the work you are going to give me? Money might be same, Microsoft, Google, but is it AI work, is it this work or that work, program management or developer? The third, so when you're 22-year-old, your priority is money first, then your work, quality of work, then your family, and then when your mother or father says, do some puja and stuff, then you spend some time on self-actualization or self-realization. So that is the order when you are young. When most of the kids are there, that probably resonates with you. But I asked my father, he was 88 years when he passed away. In 80s, I asked him, should I give you money? He said, no. Do you know what my father wanted when he was when he was in 75 or after 70s and 80s? It was none of those 4, but it was health. You have to spend time on health. You have to prioritize time to find some activity that you do for health reasons. Then, when you are in the deathbed or you're in 85 plus 90, if you are self-realized, if you really are in this nirvana state, nothing matters. After that, what matters is your family, people you love, your kids, your parents, your peers. Do they give you any importance? Do they love you back? Last, least important in the last 10 years is how much money you have. Because as Steve Jobs said, being a billionaire in the coffin has no meaning. No meaning. You know, that clarity brought me back to India. People say, when I came back to India, people said, oh, he must be a failure. They pushed me out, he came to India back. Because in 2003, who comes to India? They all want to go to US. But but what brought me back, as I said, is really to find time to meditate. Also tell you, I don't know if we are too young, but people have midlife crisis. You know why midlife crisis is there? It's because they are stuck in the prioritization of 20 years old. And in US, what do? They buy new cars. They get new wife, new husband, because they are still living in the age of 22, by the way. If they had the clarity that I have moved on and I am going towards like 80, they will know that their prioritization has changed. So that clarity of life, you have to put the whole life in perspective. I think people in the front understand this part more in the back, but one day you will get it. All right? Okay, so next one is, I think, is grit. Life is never smooth. I've seen that. I've seen probably a dozen billionaires. I've worked with a dozen billionaires. All these people that I talked about, they're all billionaires, by the way. Whether Steve Ballmer or Bill or Satya, I've seen them close. It's not that their life was simple and easy and they always succeeded. They had bad days, they had good days. Grit, the definition of grit is you fail, you don't fall and give up, but you fall and you get up and learn what you learned, had to learn from that failure, and you try again with a new learning. And you fail and learn and fail and learn, and finally you will succeed. Nobody succeeds in first time, let me tell you that. And my best quote is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is a basketball player, a billionaire by playing basketball. When he was in class 7 or 8, he was kicked out of the basketball game from his class, because he said, like they said, we don't want you in my team, you are no good. He worked and worked and worked, and look at his quote. He says, I missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I lost almost 300 games where I could have done a shot and won. I failed and failed and failed again, and that's why I succeeded. That's what you have to remember. And my last learning is be fearless. Not be reckless. Fearless doesn't mean you do random things and kill yourself. Fearless means if you believe in something, you got to do that in spite of the high chance of failure. In fact, most of the time when you're deciding, when you have to make a decision, there are simple ways to do it, there's a hard way to do it. Lot of time what starts as simple becomes very difficult. What appears very hard becomes simple. You have to be fearless to take the path that you believe is right and then work on it. I had to teach, it took me 2 or 3 years to become fearless. In Microsoft, we are very email culture. So when we send email, we are afraid if I send email, what will people think? We call them flame mail, which you have like dash 3 people. I used to be fearful, I would not send those mails. But now I have become more comfortable because I tell myself, hey, if I was fearless, will I say this? If the answer is yes, I'll just say it. Because in the end, if you say the right thing with confidence, but with humbleness and respectful, I think it turns around. The last one, the last to last is this. I've talked a lot, but I'll tell you, all these things become easy if you practice mindfulness. Mindfulness. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah? Okay, so I don't know how much time I took, but I hope it was okay. Yes?
Mahmood, please come on to the dais. And Bas Reddy Vijayasagar and Dr. Ravi Alapati, Dr. Koya Subbarao, Sitaramaya garu, Telugu garu. How do you feel? In my lifetime till today, I saw so many people who gave the excellent speeches. But this speech is no comparison to anybody. That's how he make out and made out to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sharath.
You're very kind.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to felicitate our today's dignitaries. I kindly invite our respected dignitaries to please come forward and join us on stage for felicitation ceremony.
స్టూడెంట్స్ అందరూ మెట్ల మీద నుంచి కిందకు ఉంటే సార్ని రాజీవ్ గారిని నేను మెట్ల మీద నుంచి తీసుకొని వస్తాను. చక్కగా మీ అందరిది వీడియోలో వచ్చేలాగా చేద్దామని నా ప్రయత్నం. ఒకళ్ళు నెట్టుకోకుండా వరుసనే మెట్ల మీద కింద వరకు ఉండండి, లాస్ట్ ఫ్లోర్ వరకు, బయటికి వెళ్ళేంత వరకు. ప్లీజ్ స్లో, గో స్లో, గో స్లో, గో స్లో, వెరీ స్లోలీ. మీ అందరినీ కలిసి వెళ్తారు. జస్ట్ మెల్లిగా వెళ్ళండి ఒక్కొక్కళ్ళు. డోంట్ గో ఫాస్ట్.